It is our weekly conversation with our guy, JJ Starling. And JJ, welcome in. And, we talked at this time last week, and I know you were just getting ready when we were done to go to a workout, test out the hand, the whole thing. When did you start figuring out last week? You caught us off guard a little on Saturday that you were able to go. When did you know that you'd be able to play on Saturday?
An hour before the game.
How does that happen? You go out there, you're testing it. What made you sure you could play?
Everything just felt good. I mean, I only had 2 live practices under my belt before that, and then I had a shoot around, obviously, but it felt good. And my coaches, they trusted me. They believed that I was moving right, and same with my trainer. And at the end of the day, I felt confident in myself as well. So I made that game time decision.
And then you got out there and you hit what? You hit your first 2 shots of the game. It was like, welcome back. Here we go. Hit the 3 and the long 2. After a month off, like to get those to go down, did that kind of set you mentally at ease right away on Saturday?
No, I was just ready to go right off the gate. Obviously it feels good when you're a scorer and you see your first 2 shots go in, especially being away from the game for so long. But those shots really felt good. But it just felt like I was, back like I never left.
Watching you play here the last 2 games, I know you've got the wrap and stuff around your hand. I haven't noticed anything affecting you. Is anything affecting you out there?
Not at all.
Excellent. Is JJ missing the month, but he's back in there. And then you guys got the win on Tuesday against Georgia Tech. How much of a mental load off is that? We know you've been waiting to get an ACC win, a Power 5 win. What did getting that win on Tuesday do for you guys?
It did a lot for us, especially the amount of work that we put in. Everybody on the staff, players, we put in so much work that outside people don't see. And obviously we weren't getting the results that we would like, but that happens. So to be able to really prepare and work hard leading up into that game and then get the results that we planned for, it means a lot.
Does it take some, I don't know if anxiety is the right word. Does it take a little pressure off you guys going into the games going forward? No, and it's not like, oh my goodness, we haven't won one of these things right now.
There's no pressure at all. At the end of the day, it's all about us, and we got to do our job. Not listen to any outside noise, because that's when pressure is going to come in if you pay attention to what outside people are saying. But as long as we stay true to ourselves and really trusting each other, then there won't be any pressure, and we're just going to be able to carry out our job.
All right, I had Griff on the show yesterday, and Griff said about you specifically, man, when you get your best guy back, what is it about, late game situations? He's like, hey, sometimes JJ just went rogue, and that's what we needed. We needed our best guy to go make a play. What's that like to know that that's your role this year? Like last year, you got to do that, son. That was Judah's role last year, that you get to be the guy last 4 minutes of the game. All right, it's my ball. Let's go. Let's go win the game.
Yeah, I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm just going to do whatever helps win the team, Sometimes it might not be my night, but like you said, I have trust in my teammates and my coaches. I have trust from them to give me the ball and, make decisions in clutch time. So I'm just going to do whatever I need to do to win.
Is it good that you get to go rogue and the coaches don't get to get mad about it? That you're the guy that's got that this year?
I mean, yeah, it's nice. You gotta like an extended leash, so it's nice.
Yeah, you're not getting yanked out of the game for stuff like that. I have pretty good faith in that. And other side of the ball, JJ. The other thing Griff told me yesterday is, Tuesday night defensively, you guys knew the game plan, you knew the assignments, and you did it pretty buttoned up for 40 minutes. What did you guys notice at that end of the court as far as your scout of Georgia Tech, and then how you guys followed it out on the court during the game?
Yeah, for starters, everybody was locked in from the jump. There was a day where it was just like a mental day, just learning about Georgia Tech, what they do and their offense. And I feel like we really did a good job paying attention into the keys. And then come game time, we were ready to, go off script sometimes. Sometimes it wasn't pretty. We had to make rotations that we didn't necessarily practice, or they ran plays that we didn't go over. But we were all locked in as a team, and we played defense together.
and worked out. You held him to, 55 points in the game on Tuesday. Realistically, it was your best defensive game of the season, regardless of the stats, just knowing what Georgia Tech was capable of. We've got JJ Starling with us, our weekly conversation brought to you by RomanoCars.com here. Chris Bell, last two games coming off the bench. What have you noted from Chris? It seems like it's freed him up a little bit. How have you noticed Chris responding to what he's done the last two games?
I feel like he responded really positively. He could easily pout and mope, coming off the bench, being a starter in the beginning of the year, and his role on the team, but he didn't do that, He knew that he wasn't playing like he know he's capable of doing. So when coach told him, he's going to come off the bench, he was like, okay, when I get in and I get those minutes, I'm going to take advantage of it. And that's what we need him to do.
I feel a guy like him, a guy like you, guys that have been starters, Chris is in his third year starting. If you get that news, hey, we're going to put you on the bench for a minute, you can be like, no, that's not what's happening here. What does it tell you about Chris that he embraced it and was able to use this in a positive way?
Yeah, he's a team player. He's a team player. He just wants to win, and he's going to carry out his job no matter the circumstances.
Really helped, and he's got 30 points now total the last couple of games. And the fact that, his shot, he made all 4 threes down in Florida State. He only hit one, I think, on Tuesday, but it's looking more like him. What does that do for the rest of you, that threat of Chris from 3 seems to have returned to your offense here this week?
It expands the court so much. It makes it easier not only for him, but for, guys like me. I get downhill and I like getting to the paint and stuff like that. So it helps having shooters, around, surrounded by you, so they can't really help off.
You didn't have Donnie on Tuesday. We don't know what his prognosis is going forward. He had the walking boot on. You missed a month. We've seen Eddie's been, he was bothered by the back a while. It feels like a little here, a little there, right, with the injuries this year. How hard has that been on your guys' chemistry here, where you really haven't been able to run the same group healthy all year? How tough is that to build that chemistry you guys want to have at this part of the year?
It's not too tough. Injuries are part of the game, and I feel like we do a good job in practice with going with different lineups just so that we're used to playing with each other. So, obviously it sucks, missing some guys and stuff like that, but we know that all of us have, the next man up mentality, and we just gonna, carry out and get wins for, whoever is down and pick them up.
Yeah, I'd say one of your next guys up recently has been Peter Majstorovic, and he's got such that European game about him, right? He knows where to be. Maybe a little physical at times here. He picks up a foul every now and again. What have you noticed about Peter transitioning from Europe, learning the style over here, and what's he doing for you guys right now?
He's just a really smart player, really high IQ, and that's what we need, and he's another guy that's just a team player. He doesn't care if he's scoring or not. He's just going to go in and play hard. So, he brings a lot to the table that maybe not a lot of people see. He might not necessarily fill up the stat sheet or whatever, but he does a lot of winning things.
Yeah, and what do you have? 6 rebounds last game. That was didn't score, but you get the 6 boards when you needed them at the right time. Tell me about closing out that game on Tuesday. You guys had the lead. They came back. I think they get it down to 4 or something at some point down the stretch. What happened for you guys right on Tuesday that you were able to close that thing out?
We just put it together for a full 40 minutes. We know teams aren't just going to lay down when they're losing or whatever. So we just made sure that we stayed locked in and did what we need to do to finish the game.
All right, lastly, JJ, BC coming up this week on the road. What are these road games at BC like? We know there's usually a lot of Cuse fans there to welcome you when you go to Boston.
Yeah, it's a different atmosphere, but at the end of the day, I know we're going to bring our own energy, whether it's a packed out stadium or crowd or not. But like I said, we're just going to stay true to our keys and do what we need to do to get the win.
All right, JJ, thanks as always. Good to see you back on the court. Best of luck Saturday, Tuesday against Louisville, and we'll talk again next week, all right?
All right, thank you.